Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday to you guys. You're never gonna believe this, but I was doing the video. I just realized that the video is sideways, so I have the black on the edge. I do apologize for that, but I did not want to do this over again. And sometimes when you do things the first time, it just comes out the best. So disregard the black on the edges. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much, and here you go. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, and I wanted to talk to you guys about sinking funds. What is a sinking fund? I get this question all the time, and I felt today's a perfect day to try to explain. If you're new here, please subscribe and like the video. It would help me out. And as always, please leave a friendly comment below. A sinking fund is a short-term saving account. So you're not saving for long term. And so I wrote that out here. A sinking fund equals a short-term saving account. These are accounts that you are going to spend. You're saving just these small accounts and you know you're going to eventually spend them. For example, Christmas, birthdays, clothing, car maintenance, vacation. Maybe your child has dance, after school program. Maybe you want to do an Amazon Prime and you don't want to pay for the full year. So you want to save up to pay the full amount instead of paying monthly. So they are short-term saving accounts. There is no right or wrong one. Everyone's family dynamics is different, and it just depends on what you are saving for. Now, for me, Christmas, I like to budget usually $2,000, but this time we decided we're going to do things differently just because things are really expensive and we don't have a lot of money to just aimlessly spend. So we want, for the adults, we're going to do $25. For the children, you can buy, there's only 2 little babies, but you can spend as much as you want. But it just makes it easier for people because sometimes people get very stressed out around this time. You're struggling as it is. Now you got to buy more gifts and things like that. That's why I have always recommended, and I've always told this to my children, to start saving for a Christmas fund. So when you have an end goal, like let's say you want to save $1,000 for your Christmas budget, the second question I get is, well, how do you know how much you need to put in? Well, if you need $1,000, and let's just say you start in January, most people want to take it out in October because you need to start buying gifts. You would just divide that between like the 8 months. You can even put like 10 months. So, 10 months divided by 1,000 would be $100 each month. So you could do it that way. That's if you have an end goal. Like for me, for clothing, I don't have I don't have a goal. I don't say, $1,000. I just have a sinking fund that I open. I have clothing, vacation. I have a saving box challenge. I have a 10K challenge. I used to have one that was for like office remodel. So these are not set in stone. You change them as you go. Like for me, I now have Amazon, Target, I have grandbabies, and my car payment. So I have those sinking funds in addition to these. And so I like that because when I want to go shopping for clothes, like every season, I have the money there and I can buy what I need to buy. Vacation is to visit my son or to obviously take a vacation, but it's mainly just to have that money set aside to visit my son and my grandbaby in Ohio. So at least I have that money, and I know I have that money there for, you know, the trip, and then I have to get the rental. So everyone's family situation's different, and this is something that you have to talk, you know, you have to sit down and think about how you want to, you know, what savings account, like what do you need, or what are you looking at doing. Um so that's what a sinking fund is. Now, what's really important is the very first thing that anyone should do is create an emergency fund. And so the reason why I say this is because you don't really want to go backwards and create so many of these small saving accounts when, because if, well, let's just say something did happen and you had an emergency, or your car broke down and you need 4 new tires, you need a whole new engine or whatever, and it's a lot of money. If you don't have a car maintenance fund, then you could use your emergency fund, but that's why it's really important to start one. And if you don't have one, you need to start today. This is the first thing that I did when I was trying to redo everything. I was terrible at money, I was terrible at saving, and it was an eye opener for me. So when I started doing a lot of research, I started reading a lot of books, I started doing all of my research and trying to figure out what a sinking fund was. I was really confused in the beginning, and I was like, I don't even know what this means. Like, this doesn't make sense. It took a while. I now love it. I absolutely love it so much. But the first thing I did was I created an emergency fund for $1,000. I would save all of my change, all of my dollar bills, all of my fives. I would put them in all of the change jars, and I would go to the bank and change it in. Anything that I did receive from the jars, I would add that to the emergency fund. Any bonuses that I got, or maybe even for taxes, any way that I could try to get that $1,000 is what I did. I would sell stuff. I used to sell like a lot of stuff on Posh. Fact is, I got my first $1,000 and I was so excited because I was like, wow, I saved $1,000. So they always say to start off with 1,000, but to realistically, you should have at least, I think, between 5 to 10,000. So after I got my first 1,000, I continued and I kept on saving and I kept on saving. And then at that point, it was a challenge for me. I was just like hooked. I wanted to get rid of my credit cards, and I wanted to really, really do good, and save. So, and change my habits and stuff. Took a while, but I did it. So I now have a sustainable emergency fund, and I'm very proud to say that I did it. And if I can do it, you can too. So after I got the emergency, I decided to look at some of the categories that would work for me. One of the categories that I struggle with every year was Christmas. I would charge everything, have to pay back everything for the full year. It was a vicious cycle. Once I opened up a Christmas fund, I can't tell you how stress relief, what is the word I'm using? I was so happy when I saved, I think I had $2,000 for my Christmas fund. I was able to buy all of my gifts, and I have never had an easy Christmas holiday. I bought gifts, I bought food. It was wonderful. I was not stressed. I was able to get things early, and the most important thing is I didn't even use my credit card. I did not use my credit card. I paid everything with cash. Not everything with cash. I would, if I purchased anything online, I would just take the money and put it in the checking account and I would just use it. The fact is I saved a good amount of money and I did not use my credit card for Christmas, and it was the best feeling ever. So that was my second thing that I did. So the first thing I did was my emergency fund. The second one was Christmas. So after that, I decided I wanted to keep going, and I tried to think of other areas in my life that I wanted accounts for. And I periodically change. Yeah, I think I had car maintenance when I did not own my SUV. I think I had like a regular car. And did I? So we're talking way back. So I made sure that I had a car maintenance fund. And I had a lot of different funds for this, for my time of like what I needed, right? And I also at one point had a office redo. So like I was redoing the office upstairs, and I had a fund for that, and it was a great feeling to be able to just go by my desk, go by my shelf. I bought the rug and it was great. So you don't see that anymore here because I already did it. I succeeded. You know, the office is done. I don't have a car maintenance because I have a new car and I don't need it. I just recently created an envelope for car payment, so I could set money aside for that, which is still, that's okay. It's pretty much the same thing. I also have vacation. Vacation is to go visit my son. I have a saving box challenge. I have a 10K challenge. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to continue, but I still am going to continue with this. But the third thing I did was clothing, and I still have clothing. So these here, emergency, Christmas, clothing, and vacation, I've always had. Clothing is very important because I have a job and I need to buy clothes every season, and I need to look good, and I want to buy things either for myself or for my kids. If my daughter needs to get something, then I have money. And so maybe you need to buy a winter coat, you got to buy Uggs or whatever. So I always had a clothing fund. And every pay period, I would just add something to it, $50, $25. You know, maybe one week I wouldn't even add anything. The fourth thing is vacation. And that's very important because things are so expensive. I have to travel to visit my son. So I always made sure I always had like $1,000 in here. We are going to DR in, I think, next May. So travel to the DR. I'm super excited about that. So I definitely need to start saving for that. But what I'm trying to say is that when you create small savings accounts, these are short term, like maybe for your homeowner's insurance, maybe it's $200 a year. Well, you start saving now. You do $20 a month, or you do $10 a month. So there's all these different ways to save. There's so many different things to come up with, is what I'm trying to say. Like, so many. Maybe your kid goes to karate, but I think you understand the point. So the point is, a sinking fund is a short-term saving account that you are going to use. Okay. An emergency fund is just that. An emergency fund is for an emergency, and that should be the first thing that you do. If you want long term, then you create, I switched it. I had a second savings. You would put like second savings account. I think I need to add a new one because I changed it for the 10K challenge. So now if you're looking at saving some money for savings, just your savings, you don't want it for a category, then create a second savings or a savings account, okay? So you would have your emergency fund is the first thing that you need to do starting today. If you already have that and you want to start with sinking funds, then take a look at some of the things that you spend money on or you trying to save. You can even create a sinking fund for planners. So you can put like planners, you know, I want a new Gillio. They cost like about $300, and then you can put $10 to $20 each pay. So the possibilities are endless. So I wanted to go over that with you because I feel like a lot of people are very hesitant and they don't know how to start or where to begin. And as much as I love sinking funds, I highly recommend the first thing that you do is create an emergency fund. Get that going, do that first, and then pick 1 to 3 sinking funds that would be beneficial to your family, and then you start working towards that. It doesn't have to be a lot of money every pay period. It just has to be, you know, something, unless like you have an end goal. What I mean by an end goal is you have a goal. So like Christmas, you're going to spend $1,000, or Christmas, you're going to spend $2,000. You need to start saving it, you know, in January, and you divide that up between 10 months with the 2,000, and that is what you would pay each month. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. The other thing I want to talk to you about is cash envelopes. And cash envelopes work if you use them. So I hear it all the time. Well, you get bi-weekly pay. Your check is in the bank. Why do you take money out? I don't like doing that. However, these are the categories that I budget the most. So these categories here are areas in which I want to budget. So I don't want to spend a lot of money on groceries or gas. I have groceries, gas, beauty, your nails, you need to budget. Household, this is stuff for the house. Eating out, I have BJ's and miscellaneous. Now let's talk about, I'll give you an example, eating out. Let's say you go to work every day and you stop at Dunkin' Donuts every morning. You're spending at least $10. Then lunchtime comes and you are now ordering out with the girls. That adds up. Now the weekend comes and you want to go out with your kids and you want to go out to eat. Now you're going to spend $100 bringing the whole family out. Eating out is a huge thing and it can cost a lot of money. So these are why you use cash envelopes to budget in these categories. Once the money is gone from this envelope, it's gone. You don't use anything else. You don't use your credit card. You're done. So that is what this is for. This is for to budget so you do not overspend in these categories. And when the money's gone, it is gone. If you don't use it and you have never tried, you won't understand. You have to use the system in order for it to work. I was in my life, I always pretty much lived paycheck to paycheck. So I wanted to stop that. I didn't want to live like that anymore. So I made all of these changes and habits. I read a lot of books and I did everything humanly possible for me to change. And I did. So I'm living proof that the system works. If you use it and you apply habits and changes towards it, it does work. Is it a little bit more irritating to have to get the money, go to the bank, take it out? Yes. Because I absolutely agree with that. Like I said, I have direct deposit and then I have to take it out. So usually I will take $300 out every pay and then I kind of go through. If you do good, then you have your money left. Like for example, I have $144 for groceries. If you meal plan correctly and you go through your cabinets and you do everything you're supposed to do, then it's great. You will lower your amount. So I use I use these cash envelope sticky. No, actually I ran out and they're right here. So I ordered more. They are cash envelopes. This one says sinking funds. And I just like to have this view in front of me so I can see like groceries, gas, beauty, household, you know, and I like to see stuff like that so I can just see like in my face. But it does work, and I always like to tell people that if you have never used cash envelopes and you feel that it's going to be really difficult for you because you're not really understanding, it's okay to have direct deposit. It's okay. What you can do is you can start out, and you start it out like you're gonna do it, and you just start out with like 1 to 2, right? Just do 2, and you slowly learn and get acclimated to it and to the process and what it means. So you can do the first one for groceries. You get paid, you figure out how much you're going to spend until your next pay. Take the money out, put it in here. Once the money is gone, it's gone. But this is going to help you so you don't overspend. And that's the point. So that's the point of cash envelopes. Gas is gas. I mean, we do need gas to get to work. So, you know, sometimes we really can't control the amount because we're not the ones that are charging that amount. But when gas was recently going up, I think I paid like $60 for to fill it up, and now I think it's closer to like 40. So it's usually 40 every week, which means if I get paid, I have to have $80, you know. So beauty is mainly for my nails and hair or petty. You can slowly, you know, so you get paid, you slowly add to that $10 every pay period or 20. And so yeah, it just helps you be able to save and have a little bit more structure with your money. So those are the 2 things, sinking funds and cash envelopes. I hope I explained myself the best. I hope you understood that. Another thing I wanted to share with you is these. The first thing is, oh my God, I got yarn. I was doing pouches. A couple of books that I've read, I'm going to recommend to you. And it's really good to be able to read and do, you know, research on different things regarding finances, regarding habits, because it all boils down to habits that we make, right? We can get paid, but if you get paid and go right to Walmart or go to the casino, you're going to blow your money, right? So sometimes reading is good because reading is knowledge. So this is a really good book that I didn't finish, The Atomic Habits. This is good. When I first started budgeting, I read Dave Ramsey. I think I've read his book at least 2 times, maybe even 3. And I don't follow everything to a T, but it's good information. So like, I think he believes in like every dollar method. I don't do the every dollar method. That's okay. It's my life and I'm going to do it the way that I feel fit for me. But he has information on how the process, and so I do just about what he does, but just not exactly. Another really good book is from The Budget Mom. And of course, I'm going to support her. When I first started, I was like way back. Like she was, I don't even know. She was just like a normal person, paying off her bills, living in her little apartment. So yeah, read her book. It's awesome. It's so inspirational to, you know, be able to see how other people have made it. And so definitely recommend. The last one is The Financial Diet, and this is with Chelsea. I love her. So I always see her. She makes me laugh. I have been watching her videos for years now. When oh my God, at least 8 years ago. So these are a few of the books that I recommend, you know, reading, taking the time to read. And again, if you're going to start off with sinking funds, just start off with 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. And the first thing you should do starting today is to create an emergency fund. So that's the number one thing that you should start off with. I hope I explained everything correctly. I hope that you subscribe to my channel. Please leave a friendly hello below. And if you have any questions on anything that I did talk about, then please, as always, just let me know. Thank you. Have a great day.